You make turtles?
Yes!
They're cute!
Welcome to the Bear Pantry Show. If you're looking for authentic Belizean recipes, then you're in the right place. My name is Barbara and this is Cooking Made Simple.
They're so cute, right guys? First of all, I want to shout out Brenda Isigiri. She's a viewer that has become a friend, and she's the one that called me yesterday to tell me about these beauties. She follows this guy on Facebook. His name is Jose Ignacio Lopez UC. He is a panadero, according to Brenda, so he makes these for a living, but recently he started to get very creative with them. Instead of making just the regular round conchas, he's making these turtles and manatees and stuff like that. So I definitely want to give him all the credit. Of course, I don't think I'm giving away any of his secrets because the recipe that I have for the bread is my own recipe that I did before at the site. I'm just doing the creative things, well, trying to do the creative things that he did with it. So this one right here is supposed to be the symbol for Quintana Roo, which is where the guy lives, or I think he might live in Chetumal. I think it's close by, they're close by. So they're cute, right? So we don't know what we're gonna do with the eyes. I don't know what the guy does for the eyes. It looks like he maybe put some icing, some gel icing or something, but Joe just used the same sugary thing that we put here to put the eyes. But first, before we go any further, let me show you how we make the bread, all right?
We're gonna need some all-purpose flour, granulated white sugar, cinnamon, butter that I'm gonna melt in the microwave, active dry yeast, vanilla extract, an egg, evaporated milk, and some warm water to activate the yeast. For the topping, we're going to need some sugar, flour, and some butter that's softened to room temperature. Let's set these aside because we're going to have to start by activating the yeast. So this is some warm water from the faucet. It's warm enough that I can touch it, but I can't leave my finger in it or I'll get burned. Let me throw the yeast in here, steal some sugar from the allotment of sugar, and then give this a stir. This needs about 6 to 8 minutes to activate, okay? While that's happening, I'm gonna melt the butter in the microwave to give it time to cool down. But take a look at the time lapse that I did for the activation of the yeast. Oh my goodness, this is such fun. So let me go ahead and put the flour in this bowl. To this, I'm going to add the rest of the dry ingredients, the sugar, the cinnamon. Let me give this a whisk. I realized that the bowl that I'm using is too small, so I'm switching it to this bigger bowl. Then I made a well so that I can pour the yeast mixture in first. Let me get all of it, scrape any of the remnants out, and yet a little bit more. Next, I'm going to add the melted butter, and it's had 7 minutes to cool down because that's the time that it took the yeast to rise. And then my extract. So now when I add the egg, the butter is not going to scramble the egg, alright, because the butter is not hot. One hand at first, keeping my other hand dry. Get everything worked in before I add the milk. Now I've tried this bread before with other milks like cow's milk and stuff, but it doesn't taste as good. I really feel like this bread needs the evaporated milk, okay? Alright, I'm feeling for dry spots. Just gonna work it around the bowl. And I still feel like we need a little bit more moisture. Let me get it worked in some more. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and add a little bit of water. Let me grab that. About half a teaspoon to a teaspoon. Now it's time for me to dump it out on the counter. Right, so just let me roll it out. And then I'm gonna stop and wash my hands and dry it off because that makes kneading a whole lot easier. So now I'll see some people do this when they're kneading bread. This process right here, press it out like that. I only do that when making pie doughs, alright? Not when doing bread. I think that process is called fraisier or fraiseur, but I don't do that for breads. Just roll it, make it as smooth as possible, and then turn it seam side down. Put it back in the same bowl that I kneaded it up in because it's there. I don't need to wash it. You know, a lot of people will wash it and grease it. I don't do none of that. Just cover it up, set it aside for an hour. Meanwhile, let's make the topping. So it's the flour, the sugar, and the butter that's softened to room temperature. And this is going to be kind of like a crumble, like the way you would put it on muffins, but it's not going to be in a crumble form. It has to be more like a dough, but you're not going to be able to roll out the dough on the countertop, alright? It's a really weird mixture right here. See, this is too crumbly, so I need to go ahead and add some moisture to it. So I'll add a little bit of water, and I already feel like I've added too much water, but it's okay because we can rope this back in by putting some more flour, okay? Yeah, it's too moist. You guys see my dyes next to me? We're going to be messing around with colors today. So I'm just going to add some more flour. And then we're going to separate it into 3 equal sizes because I want to do different colors, okay? And my dye, it's in a liquid form, so it might get the dough a little bit too soft again. We're just going to add flour to it again to clean up any problems. So let me split this in 3. We're going to start off by doing 1. I'm feeling it to see if they're even. This is a fluorescent green. And you should really use gloves if you don't want the dye to stay in your hand, but you know what? I have nowhere to go, so it's okay. Roll this into a ball and set this aside, and then do the yellow. I'm going to leave the other one uncolored for right now because I want to make it brown, and I'm going to use 3 different colors to do that, okay? So 1 hour later, the dough is ready. Re-knead. The color that I used to make the brown is red, yellow, and blue, by the way. Equal amounts of red, yellow, and blue. And now look, I have one little turtle ready. I didn't show you guys the way we made it because we were practicing. Let me transfer to the greased baking pan, and Joe's letting me know that I better make them in a pan because they're kind of hard to transfer.
First, look at all creative here.
So let's put the shell on this little guy right here. So I just kind of flatten out some of the green sugary thing in the palm of my hand, and then I'm just gonna go ahead and make the squares that's common on the turtles. Now don't panic if you don't know what I've done so far because I will get more in depth in a little while in the video. Right now we're just like practicing on the first batch. Look how happy I am that that one came out good. Now Joe is in the mix.
Well, you know what, he got feet.
And he's making eyes out of the brown topping that we did. So I have a pink, and Joe's like pitching a tantrum because he wants a colorful one. So I'm going to allow him to do one with 3 colors on it. And they look kind of tiny, but I'm not sure how big they're going to get when I bake them, okay? So that's why I'm testing on this batch first. Now here's a yellow one. Let me go ahead and cut this guy up. I even made a design for Quintana Roo because that's what the gentleman did, Jose. But that one was kind of complicated. I kind of tried to do what he did, but it was hard. So I'm rolling off heads and legs and all type of stuff to help Joe out, stick them together. I feel like he's making the eyes too big, but you know what? He's having fun. So look guys, Joe is getting his colorful one. And you know what? They don't bake for very long. They bake at 375 for 20 minutes, okay?
OMG, look it. So you saw how to make the sugary top, right? So this one's plain. I didn't put any color in this yet. I have a batch here that's blue. I forget that I didn't really like that color blue that I had in the thing, but you know what? It is what it is. I still have some yellow from the first batch. I made some purple, and I still have some brown from the first batch to do like the eyes. We tried to do mouths on them, but the mouth fell this way like that and looked like a tongue because Joe put some pink one, and Jada said it made the animal look like it was dead because the tongue was hanging out. So what we're gonna do right here is just try to cut them smaller. I think this is the size I did the last time. Take a look, see? That's too big. So let's cut him in two. We're gonna make some tinier ones. So let me grab a little bit of flour. So how is your day going, guys? I'm glad I practiced on the first batch because then I know what not to do next, right? So this is the body. And what we want to do for the body is just like cup it off like that. Let me get my pan and grease it lightly because you're gonna have to set it up in here, and we have to like push the head on more this time around, Joe, so that we don't have the head falling off. So I'm gonna make this round one for the head. This is such fun. Okay, so I just kind of round this one off. And I wonder if I should wet my finger with a little bit of water to stick on the head. Let's see. Do I have water here? No. Or maybe egg whites. What do you guys think to stick it on? Because I don't want the heads falling off, you know what I mean? So for the feetses, just gonna roll this. So it has 4 legs and a tail, right? So a little bit of egg white I'll put there, see if it'll stick better. And I have the feet. That's one. I don't know how people can be so creative. I would have never thought about this myself. So shout out again to Jose Ignacio Lopez UC. That's his Facebook page. You guys, if you live nearby, please go buy his stuff. Tell him Barbara from the Bear Pantry Show sent you. He doesn't even know me. Doesn't even know that I exist. But I found him through Brenda, and I want to send business his way. Okay, so to make the shell on the top, let's do we have green? No, I don't have any green, so let's do a purple. So this is straight up sugar, butter, flour. Okay? You got to do it in your hand. You can't do it on the counter because if you do, you're not going to be able to lift it up. It's very sticky. Put him over there. And then you need a little paring knife. And you just score it. Don't go too deep into the flesh of the thing. We're going to have to figure out the eye and stuff. But let me go ahead and do another one. You have to move fast. So that's why I say I'm enlisting help from Joe, okay? So again, a small one. And thank you so much to Joshua for running camera for me. You guys saw how easy it was to make the bread, right? That's just the basic sweet bread. So put this leaf body right, yeah. The little feetses. I had to really make that first batch because I needed to practice. I hope it's sticking on. You guys can offer ideas too, okay? I'll look forward to your ideas on how to let the body parts stick on. I mean, this guy is doing all types of stuff. This leg look kind of bigger than the other one, but you know what? The turtle don't have even. You do the head for this one. These little guys are so pretty. I'm gonna make some of this one right here. Right here, I'm gonna put green on that. Okay. This is head. Egg white. Joe's gonna come and shape the heads for me. Joe had fun with me on the other batch. Oh boy. Leg. Thank you, Jose. Thank you so much for making these beauties so I can have such fun today. Everybody, you live near Chetumal, near Quintana Roo, near Belize. I don't know if you have to go over the border or what. Just go buy his stuff, okay? His tail too big. Tell him Barbara from the Bear Pantry Show sent you. This is a shout out to this guy. He doesn't even know me. Shouting out. Okay. We'll put a blue top on this guy. Oh, you know what? Joshua says I need to put masks on them. So let's see how we can figure that out, okay? I'm just gonna slap this guy on and cut it the same way. We're gonna figure how we could get a mask on them. Okay, so Joshua wanted like the Ninja Turtles on this one, so I did the best I could with the mask. And then I did the CV, you know, for the thing that's going around right now, the CV mask on these ones. And they don't rise for too long, like inside of 20 minutes these are gonna be ready. And the temperature for the oven is 375. Yeah, 375. I was gonna mess with it because it said 350, but that's the time on the clock. I was just gonna mess with it. So these are gonna go into the oven in a few minutes. Let's set these aside and work on some more for this tray, okay? So be as creative as you wanna be. Like I said, the guy made a manatee. I don't think I can make that. Josh, you think maybe I can make a snake?
Probably.
Josh is running camera. Let's see if we can do a snake. You know how sometimes the snake have the
diamond backs?
Yeah, the diamond things. Let's see. I probably have some viewers that don't like to see snakes in any form.
Do a diamondback rattlesnake.
Diamondback rattlesnake. Okay. So this is my snake. We're doing a rattlesnake, right? So this is the tail. I'm trying to let it stay here. Stay here. I'm going to put some of the brown because it's a rattler. This is the sugary treat thing. This is the best part of the concha, you know, the sugary part, because the bread itself is not too sweet. Okay, what do you think, Josh?
Now you got to cut the shape.
Okay, you want to come cut the shape?
Some have really cute, like, soft-looking faces.
Those are the same one that could probably kill you bad.
Nah, they're pet ones, but the snakes are expensive. They're like $100-something to get a little cute one.
So what are we gonna do for the rest of his body?
I don't know. That pattern looks... How much time you got to make that pattern on them?
For the body, guys, I just kind of threw some cinnamon into the plain dough for the sugary thing. We're just doing that for the body. I don't know how this guy does this and then sells them. Where does he have the time to do this for a living, you know? I love people that are creative. Do we have anything to make a mouth, a tongue for him?
That right there.
Why is it a he? Why can't it be a girl, huh?
I think it's patterns that you can tell what
Oh,
a snake
okay,
is. I think, don't quote me on that.
Joshua's my animal lover in here.
There you go.
Okay. Put the other tray in the bake. You only bake for 20 minutes. You don't want to leave them out too long because they're going to crack too much, okay? Put that guy right there. And I found that it's easier if once you put the body down for the turtle, you make the shell before you put the legs and the head and all that stuff on. If this is too moist, I guess, for lack of a better thing, just go ahead and put some more flour on it. Mix it in. So see, I have the body there. And I'm just gonna make the squares. I'm not gonna do that Quintana Roo thing. That was painful. Okay. I'm gonna give this guy a head, and I'm just gonna keep working on the colors that I have here. And see how many more I get. I'm not gonna get a whole lot though, because I did a whole snake. Oh man, I'm getting the green. I'm getting the green on this head. I don't know when I get this snake out, guys.
Let's say it's shedding. Oh, I lost the tongue.
Ah!
Yeah, there's the tongue.
Put the tongue right there. You guys notice that I have two different green for the turtles? This dark Christmas tree green and then this fluorescent one. So I have one more batch in there. I have a little kunku baby one. Please and say kunku. So then we're gonna take some pictures. I want these to be unique. I don't know how I'm gonna do the pictures, but then after that we're gonna taste. All right. But I have some legs or tail or something here that I'm gonna taste. Is this snake? Nasha loves his snake. It tastes good, guys. Of course, that sugary stuff on the top is going to be delicious. Stay to the end because I'm going to show you the little baby one. Okay? So, look below for the list of the ingredients that I use for the bread and the topping. And come back and show me which animals you're going to make. And of course, we'll shout out Jose Ignacio Lopez UC. I remembered his name. I'm going to go try to tag him in it and tell him thank you, and I hope that he can get some business off of this, guys. If you live nearby, find out where he's at, go buy his stuff. So these ones didn't come out so good. The CV ones didn't come out so good because the face touched the tail of the other one, and I don't like when they crack this big to show all that, you know, that's not going to get brown like the rest because it's covered, right? But I think the snake is gorgeous. All right, thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, comment. What else? What else? What else? Share. Bye. Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you're seeing me on Facebook, don't forget to follow, like, and share the page. If you're seeing me on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share the page. And if you want to see me on a different platform, come and join the membership at Patreon. It's patreon.com/Bear Pantry Show.